Okay. What are we doing about the internally displaced people? Because yes, we may be carried away with fighting the insurgency, but it's a huge challenge. Are you doing anything? Is government doing anything about those who have been displaced by this scenario?
Quite a number of presidential initiatives have been put in place. There is a robust presidential initiative for the Northeast that is a complete package to ensure that a long-term strategy of rebuilding of rehabilitation infrastructure and rehabilitating infrastructure and so forth is put in place. Apart from that, even the Safe School initiative that has been launched is meant to ensure a sustainable development of infrastructure within this area, starting with the Northeast, to ensure that students, parents are provided with a conducive atmosphere, secured atmosphere for learning, so that you are not worried when your child is at school and so forth and so on. And it comes with the provision of fences, building of hostels, security alarm systems, guards, and so forth and so on. That is for the Safe School initiative. But the presidential initiative, which is expected to dovetail into the presidential the Safe School initiative, which is expected to dovetail into the presidential initiative on the Northeast, has the plan is supposed to commence with the Northeast now, but eventually it will grow out of the Northeast to other regions of the country.
So there are two different initiatives: the presidential initiative, the Safe
for the
School,
Northeast.
For the Northeast.
Yes, but the Safe School initiative
is for the entire country.
Is for the entire country, but it's beginning with the Northeast at the moment, especially.
Who are the contributors to the Safe School initiative?
After the abduction of the girls, the government of Nigeria and the UN Special Envoy on Education, Gordon Brown, have come in collaboration with the Nigerian government to implement this strategy.
Because we know that it started during the World Economic Forum on Africa. We did hear about it. That's one of the outcomes of it. But we were not quite sure in terms of how the monies were going to be raised. It did sound as if the money was already there. I think we were speaking about $10 million.
Yes, the government of Nigeria had put in $10 million to this, and so far the initiative has been able to mobilize additional $10 million from other sources, private sources, public sources.
$20 million.
So $20 million is already on the ground. There are indicative sources of grants from other countries, from Germany, from Africa Development Bank, from Norwegian government, and so forth and so on, variously, which could add up to close to maybe about 25 million or so, or more, or in that region. So funds are available, and it is because of the approach that the government put in place, or undertook, that has led to this inflow of resources to assist the process.
How do you think, has work started already? $25 million, I mean, it's quite a lot of money to just be sitting idle.
You would recall that the coordinating minister of the economy and Mr. Gordon Brown had visited the Northeast to conduct a first-hand assessment, especially of Borno. The governor of Borno was part of the team. They conducted an assessment. Teams are working. Yes, behind the scenes, work has started.
What's going on with all the intelligence? Because remember, international community rallied saying they were coming to provide intelligence and support for Nigeria to tackle this. And today, we're almost still, appears as though we're still where we are.
Yesterday, I was discussing with a Liberian, and the impression, of the Nigerian army to the average Liberian is that it's the strongest force in the world. And we are surprised that they are surprised that Nigeria is not appreciating its own, armed force the way they see them. So if at that time the armed forces of Nigeria, using what they had, to arrive at the conclusions they did, even without external help, one would have expected that as soon as the external help came, it either will give us something widely different from what we already knew, or just confirm what we had. So if that be the case, that as at today, we are where we have been, then something can be said of the good nature, of the level of professionalism of the Nigerian Armed Forces. But that is by the way. Collaboration in terms of advice, in terms of experience, in terms of intelligence sharing is ongoing. It's been fantastic, and work, I am sure, is within their own structure of the operations.
Is there anything that can be said to be a benefit in terms of what Nigerians can see?
Well, what can be of benefit includes the fact that we have more information now. We have, our people are more prepared and know what they really need to undertake the basic assignment of rescue.
Just quickly, though, so that citizens have a very clear idea how the National Information Center works. How does it work? Is it just for journalists, or is it for all Nigerians who wish to get information on security?
The National Information Center conducts daily, now thrice the weekly press briefing, and that press briefing is for journalists who come to ask questions, who come to get clarification, and who are fed information for the general public, for the use of the general public. And we insist that it will be credible, we insist that it will be timely, and we get the information that we give the people from the respective institutions involved with this mission, expedition. So we have a harmonized system that takes one central message from all these sources to the citizens.
So you do
any individual who wishes to ask questions. I have had reason to entertain one or two such situations, but I think appropriate organs of government have been established to answer that. The Ministry of Information is still there. So any citizen who wishes to clarify, to ask questions about government should go to the Ministry of Information.
Well, what can you tell us? How close or how far are we from rescuing the girls?
Well, that is operational information that shouldn't be given out like this, because it's like telling Boko Haram, I know where, come and get me.
No, but we've already been told that we know where the girls are.
Yeah,
Exactly.
so we know where the girls are, but we don't know when we're going to get them. We wouldn't say that we're going to get them tomorrow, we wouldn't say we're going to get them the day after, and so forth and so on. It involves a number of approaches, of plans, of dedication and commitment by the officers in the process leading to the rescue. You don't want to endanger the lives of these girls. There is no single operation of this nature that has communicated its processes, its daily steps and activities. None that I know. And we've had a number of these in the world. So for people to even go on international media to demand to know when these operations will take place, I have seen it yesterday when one of these people, one of these Nigerians was on one of the international media stations demanding to know what concrete steps have been taken when our men are out there dying. If there are no Nigerian armed soldiers, if nobody is there in this operation, then you would know that nobody is doing anything. But the fact that our men are there, they're engaging these people, they're arresting them, you know something is happening.
Are we getting support from our neighbors? Take Cameroon, for instance.
Oh, yes. Is the fallout of our president's initiative to rally around countries of West Africa, the ECOWAS region, especially Cameroon, Chad, Niger, and Benin Republic, has created that effective synergy among these countries in the fight against terrorism. Essentially, excuse me, one of the fallouts was the establishment of the Regional Intelligence Fusion Unit, which is based in Abuja, where all these countries use to share information, operational information on what is happening in that area. It is effectively supported by the US, by France, and the UK, which is good in that regard. And Cameroon has, and all the other countries there have contributed a multinational task force that is operating within the general area, to repel and to ensure that we secure the movement of whatever is that is, those things that are assets of interest to us across the border.
Okay, well, we'll take a quick break now, but when we come back, we'll look at a lot more in terms of our neighbors and what has been said before, what kind of results are we getting now. So that will be when we return. Join us again.